Well, hello there. My name is Delana Flowers, and I want to take some time to welcome you to Carefrontation. Yes, Carefrontation. It's exactly what it sounds like. We are going to take some time to, in a caring and loving way, confront ourselves. Why? Because it's important. We have to do the hard work. And guess what? Hard work is not easy. It's sometimes frustrating, it's painful, but guess what? You are worth the fight. You are. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of joy. So let's get going. We're coming up on the Christmas season, and I just wanted to take some time to give some thought to the fact that this is a season where we give gifts. And we all know it's part of our tradition. We buy each other gifts and, we do presents and unwrapping of the gifts. But I would like to challenge you to think about gifts that you can give to yourself. And think about why we don't do that more often. Is it because we think we're not worthy? Is it because we think we don't deserve it? Is it because some trauma or some, traumatic event in our past taught us that we shouldn't want gifts or that we shouldn't um, be caring of ourselves? It could be any number of those things, but I want to challenge you to challenge that thinking. It's wonderful to give gifts to other people, but I want us to normalize giving gifts to ourselves. So this week, I'm going to be talking about some gifts that we can give to ourselves and some of the gifts that I've learned to give to myself. So let's start with some intangible things because gifts can be tangible things, but gifts can also be things like experiences. This year, I've been leaning more towards, even for other people, giving them gifts that are experiences as opposed to physical things that they can hold in their hands. So, for instance, uh, I I I like to make gifts for other people because there was a point in time where I couldn't afford to buy gifts. So I would make them with my hands. Well, even after time went on and I was able to afford to buy gifts, there was something just very therapeutic and just very um, different for me about making gifts. So I still do that. Every year I make something. And I make it a point when I'm making those gifts for other people to try to remember to make one for myself as well, because I'm worthy of gifts too. But I digress. Let's talk about some intangible things that we can give to ourselves, starting with the gift of therapy. Yeah, I know that that word is taboo. We don't like to talk about it. Well, isn't therapy for crazy people? No. Therapy is for people that want to do the hard work. Does therapy solve all of our problems and make everything sunshine and rainbows? No. But therapy helps us to identify our traumas, identify our triggers, identify the ways those things are still affecting us, and it gives us better coping mechanisms. We are all coping, whether we know it or not. And most of us have very unhealthy ways of coping. Now, of course, the obvious unhealthy ways of coping are like drinking or smoking or being addicted to sex or being addicted to whatever. Addiction is like an obvious coping mechanism, but there are lots of coping mechanisms that are not so obvious that happen internally that maybe no one else knows about. Maybe we don't even know about it. So, therapy is a way for us to identify those things and replace those bad coping mechanisms with better coping mechanisms so that the next time we are triggered in this particular area, we are better equipped to manage that and to handle that. We learn to navigate ourselves better. We learn to accept that we can't control other people, but we do have control over ourselves. And we can learn to navigate ourselves better. We can learn to give ourselves grace. We can learn to be more kind to ourselves. And all those things are important. So I want to challenge you to consider giving yourself the gift of therapy. There are therapists that use a sliding scale. So if money's an issue, that excuse can be thrown away. Do some research. Maybe ask around. You'd be surprised at how many people actually do go to therapy. Maybe they can make some recommendations. You can find anything on Google. Do a Google search. Facebook? Oh, go on Facebook and ask for recommendations. That's an easy way to find out who are some people that other people trust. Every therapist is not for everybody, and it may take trying a couple before you find one that works for you. And that is okay, because remember, you're giving yourself a gift. So we keep working until we find the one that fits for you, because you're worthy of it and you deserve it. So one of the things that I did this year, I did a program called the Heart Advocate Program with a wonderful person. Her name is Taylor. And Taylor's Heart Advocate Program is designed to help you discover what self-care should mean and what self-love should mean for you personally as an individual. Not all this like go to the spa, not that there's anything wrong with that, totally fine. But if we go to the spa and we're not doing the heart work, guess what? When we come back from the spa, those same triggers, those same traumas, those same issues are still going to be there. That's the reality. But no, self-care and self-love and what that should look like for you personally. What self-care have you been giving to yourself that you should applaud yourself for? What self-care do you need to start giving yourself? And, just where have you been lacking in that? I went into this program. It's a 12-week program. It's an hour a week. You spend that time with her. I went into this program not at all knowing what to expect. And I also had my bestie go through the program as well. And neither of us knew what to expect. But I was like, it's 12 weeks. If we hate it, it's only 12 weeks, an hour for 12 weeks. I think it's worth it to give it a try. And let me tell you, it was money absolutely well spent. And in fact, it was so good and so helpful that I seriously think that she should be charging more for it. I enjoyed this program so much that I have friends and family members that I sponsored to go through this program, and even they found it helpful. I learned things about myself that I didn't know. I learned things that I knew and just didn't know what to do with them. I learned better coping mechanisms, like I was talking about earlier. And I just got a chance to kind of really dig deep into myself and to really see the importance of doing the hard work. I did an assessment. She gives you an assessment at the beginning, and you take that same assessment again at the end so that you can see again, like where you're lacking, what needs more of your time and energy. And you're able to see how you grew over that 12 weeks by taking the assessment again at the end. And you are given tools to continue the growth and continue the healing and continue the process. I will absolutely make sure that Taylor's information is accessible. I absolutely recommend it. It's one of those things that are an intangible gift. It's an experience. Give yourself the gift of healing. Give that to yourself. Like I said earlier, you are worthy of peace. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of joy. And therapy and programs like the Heart Advocate program can help you identify why we feel like we're not worthy of that and what we can do to get towards seeing ourselves as being worthy. Just one intangible thing that I gifted myself, and it's a gift that keeps on giving, because I can go back to the tools, I can go back to the readings, I can go back to the notes that I took in our sessions, the exercises, the activities that she had me do. I can go back to all of that stuff and I can redo them. And it's interesting how those things look different as I've continued in my evolution. Again, you are worthy. So I challenge you during this holiday season to give yourself a gift or two or three. Give yourself a gift, like therapy, like this Heart Advocate program. You will thank yourself later for giving yourself that gift. So we will talk again, and we will continue to talk about gift giving to ourselves. And in the meantime, you can check out the links. You can check out Taylor's Heart Advocate program. And I'll be back again to talk more about this gift giving thing. Again, my name is Delana Flowers, and you are here with me at Carefrontation. Bye.